Good evening, Los Angeles. Manifold here. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day today. Here we have Black Ops 6 Zombies, our latest installment in the Zombies series, made by Treyarch and developed to be the sequel to Cold War Zombies that we had back in 2020. Black Ops 6 had a phenomenal start to it. Then, just like the Dallas Cowboys, crapped the bed when it mattered the most. For all you Dallas Cowboys fans out there, you can't disagree with me. Come on, what are we doing? Lackluster updates, AI slop added in the game, and overall bland gameplay really aided in taking Black Ops 6 Zombies behind the barn and putting it down for good. But despite all these negatives, was the game really that bad? And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Was this really the worst Zombies experience we ever had? I would say no. It's not the worst Zombies experience we ever had. That title can go to Vanguard Zombies, closely followed by Black Ops 3. But let's take a deeper dive and look at the positives and the plethora of negatives that have plagued this game and made it into the dumpster fire that fans call it today. Alright, just like any video essay, let's go ahead and start with the positives about Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, on launch, my first positive is the launch of this game may have been the most enjoyable launch for a Zombies experience that I personally had. 2 maps on launch, fun Easter eggs, gobblegum to earn, and just an upgrade from Cold War. I loved Cold War a lot, and just upgrading on the systems that we had in Cold War, I felt was fantastic. The game was amazing on launch. Terminus and Liberty Falls were polarizing, from one another. Terminus was dark, gritty, difficult map with an extremely extremely convoluted Easter egg that led into an amazing boss fight. Whereas Liberty Falls was bright, smaller, had a very easy Easter egg, and a boss fight that wasn't anything super crazy. Now, that in and of itself led to very great gameplay on launch. I really enjoyed switching between Terminus and Liberty Falls when the game launched, and I felt like that was amazing, when it came to the launch of the game. The second pro that I have for Black Ops 6 Zombies was the return of Gobblegum. We hadn't seen Gobblegum since Black Ops 3, and of course we had elixirs back in Black Ops 4, but it may as well have been just drinking piss water, because all those elixirs were not very good. And the other positive I have is that the Gobblegum weren't extremely broken like they were in Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had some of the most broken Gobblegum in the game, shopping free, power vacuum, Gobblegum lasting like 8 minutes, if I remember correctly. The Gobblegum were extremely broken in Black Ops 3, and I'm glad that they at least added some kind of balance to where the Gobblegum are not broken, but then we do have really good Gobblegum, like Hidden Power, Perkaholic, Raindrops returning with just a one-time usage instead of 2. No, or is it 2? Yeah, one-time usage instead of 2, because I think it was 2 back in Black Ops 3. My point is, I'm glad that the Gobblegum are not broken in this game, and they are enjoyable to use. Point number 3 I have on this list is the removal of blue salvage, and that salvage is unique to each player. Not having to share salvage drops with players helps you to get your guns upgraded faster, get equipment going, and really helps to just helps the individual player. Blue salvage being gone doesn't, clutter the drop pool either, so you're able to hit those salvage points a lot faster. Now, I want salvage gone from the game completely, of course. I think more of a bare bones mode would be beneficial, but doing what they did with salvage, I think was a great change. Number 4 on this list, the songs. Oh my gosh, the songs are so freaking good, man. Can you hear me? Falling to Pieces, Slave, Destroy Something Beautiful. The songs that Kevin Sherwood wrote for this game, he was on a generational tear. And the songs are always normally some of the best parts in Zombies. Now, I said this before, but this is probably the best song rotation we've had since Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had amazing songs in it, and I feel like this game is pretty close to that run. Of course, aside from the Tomb song, I didn't really enjoy the Tomb song, but all the other songs in this game are fantastic. Next up, we got to talk about these boss fights, man, because the boss fights in this game were really, really good. Aside from fighting the Enchanted Mirror, that one just sucked. But Patient 13, of course, the Liberty Falls one was a little bland because, whatever. The Guardian, the Z-Rex, and even the Samantha fight, because I'm not doing friggin' Richtofen inside. Are you kidding me? I'm not getting aimbotted by the frickin' Wunderwaffe. No way. The boss fights in this game were fantastic. And when Black Ops 7 rolls around, I'm really hoping that they can replicate this sort of boss fight. No DPS checks, nothing dumb, but I love wipe attacks. I think wipe attacks are awesome, and I think they add to the difficulty of the boss fight. Maybe a little less boss spam. You know, I'm more talking about the Tomb in regards to boss spam, but I want to see these boss fights just dialed up to 11. I want to see these boss fights continue to be amazing and continue to impress us as a zombies community. I talked about this next point a little bit earlier in the video, but 2 maps on launch. I feel like having 2 maps on launch is fantastic, and we hadn't really seen 2 maps on launch except for, you know, the ones you had to pay DLC for, or garbage maps that didn't work half the time, like in Black Ops 4. I'm still of the opinion Black Ops 4 should have been the best zombies experience we've ever had, coming off of Black Ops 3, but we're not here to talk about Black Ops 4. Unless you guys want me to, then I'll talk about Black Ops 4. But having 2 different maps on launch was fantastic, especially 2 very different styled maps. It really broke up the gameplay, really didn't have it be as monotonous, and really, delivered it to both kinds of players. The more hardcore, like difficult, wanting players in Terminus, and the chilled, laid back play style that was in Liberty Falls. The last positive that I personally have for Black Ops 6 Zombies, honestly, was Directed Mode. I thought Directed Mode was a fantastic entry into the game. It really helped players that weren't really familiar with the Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies to have an entry point to doing them. And it really guided them to complete these Easter eggs. And hey, maybe we do it next time without Directed Mode. Hey, maybe we get ready for future Easter eggs in the series and don't use Directed Mode, for them. I thought Directed Mode was a fantastic addition. I'm glad it's coming back in Black Ops 7, and it also helped me to grind for camos, because Directed Mode grinding for camos was amazing, and I really hope they don't change that. Alright, now here's the part you guys have been waiting for, the negatives. Yeah, let's get into what drugged this game down and made it the garbage dumpster fire that it is. Okay, I don't think the game is garbage, but, definitely a terrible experience for us zombies players for the most part. The first thing on this list that really irked me, very few added gobblegum. We hardly got anything throughout the game's lifespan, and what? Oh, wow, timeout? Oh, wow, what a great gobblegum. Yeah, it's useful for, in like, what, one instance when you might be looking for Easter egg steps, so you have to go pee because the pause timer is only 15 minutes. Though it doesn't take me 15 minutes to pee, I just have to say that. But where was Shopping Free? Where was Power Vacuum? Where were all these gobblegums that we had back in Black Ops 3? Are you saving them to add into Black Ops 7 so you can scrounge our wallets even more? Huh? Like, where were the gobblegum that we were so used to in Black Ops 3? If you're bringing gobblegum back and drip feeding them to us, why does it take so long to put them back in the game, and why is there hardly any of the good ones that were in the game before? Whatever, my opinion. And moving on to that, drip-fed reused content. Stuff that we had in Cold War being slowly added back and advertised as new content. Wow. Wow, great. I definitely wanted Shatter Blast as my new content. I definitely wanted Frost Blast as my new content. I definitely wanted Tesla Storm as my new content. Like, what is this? Why as a community are we putting up with this? And I'm glad that so many other people are so outspoken about it, but why is this okay? This is a terrible business practice and is just stupid. I'm going to say it, it's stupid. I'm going to say it, it's stupid. that is not meaningful content into the game. If you want to have a game go on for a long time, Treyarch and Activision, why are we reusing content and drip feeding and advertising it as new? That didn't happen in the old days. Like Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2, what really carried forward? Black Ops 2 was so much more innovative than Black Ops 1 that the games were extremely different, you know? And I don't think anything came back aside from perks, and that's fine. Perks are fine. The perks that were added weren't being advertised as, whoa, seasonal content. Whoa, you're getting death perception back. Guess what? You're getting double tap back. Oh, wow, seasonal content. Don't you guys want to come back and spend $70 on the bundles? Like, what are we doing? Why? I'll never understand it. And don't even get me started on locking content in a map behind seasonal updates. Oh my gosh, bro. Like, why do they suck so bad? The Treyarch of old is gone. And we just have to accept that. That was my first point, and I'm already crashing out. That was my first point. Number 3, bland DLC maps, aside from Shattered Veil. Yeah, I said it. The Tomb was bland. Citadel was bland. Okay, what do you want from me? Yeah, Citadel takes place in a castle, but it's brown. It's brown, bro. It's brown. And Reckoning isn't horrible, I guess. But, I mean, even looking at the gameplay right now, yeah, cool. It's not that great. It's not that great. Shattered Veil, in my opinion, looked great. Terminus, beautiful. You couldn't have replicated what you did in Terminus. You couldn't have replicated that into the previous maps to maybe a lesser degree. Like, we're really setting the bar this low? Huh? That's it? Next thing on this list, Wonder Weapon skins. We got one for free from completing the worst Easter egg in the frickin' game. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? We get one Easter egg skin for a Wonder Weapon, and the rest of them you have to buy. Of course, the rest of them you have to buy. And don't even get me started, there weren't even any skins for the swords. Why do you have Easter egg skins for the swords, and you're able to customize, quote-unquote, the swords in the menu, and there aren't any skins for them? Come on! And why are the rest of them behind $20 bundles? Oh my gosh, bro. Like, oh. It's things like this that just make the game trash. You know, the experience trash. Why? Why is this happening? And why are we being given operator skins in a first-person game? Why is this the reward? Give us an operator skin and a Wonder Weapon skin for a reward. But no, you gotta put them behind $20 bundles because we gotta make the most money out of our players before we make a game the next year. And we're going to drip feed content at $20 bundles into it. It's such a stupid business practice, and it legitimately makes me sad and tilted that there are people that are still buying these bundles and still funding them and still opening their wallets to give to Daddy Activision in hopes that, oh, this one's going to be good. Oh, this one's going to be so good. No, it's not. No, it's not, bro. And yeah, you can do what you want with your money, whatever. I'm not the IRS. I'm not going to come hunt you down if you don't spend a certain amount of COD points in the shop. But still, why is this okay? This should not be okay to anyone, especially zombies players. Do you remember back in the day? Do you remember how much fun it was back in the day, man? We didn't have to worry about bundles. We didn't have to worry about, oh, hey, guess what? Instead of getting this super cool zombie skin or thing, you have to pay $20 for it, you know? The only thing we had to pay for back then was map packs. And at least map packs came with a zombies map and 4 multiplayer maps. Now, I'm not saying we need to go back to map packs. I'm not saying that at all, you know. I'm not advocating to go back to map packs. And I understand that's why we get maps for free now, because Warzone and bundles make them $1 bajillion a year. But it's still annoying nonetheless. I'm still going to complain about it. Number 6 on this list, or the 6th thing. It hurts. There's no super Easter egg yet. At the time of making this video, it's September 19th. Reckoning has been out for over a month, and there's no super Easter egg. Okay, Kevin Drew, when you said that you wanted to make a super cool super Easter egg, well, where is it? Where is it? Is it coming in Season 6? Was the super Easter egg the outro cutscene for Reckoning? Of course, that one's a joke, but oh my gosh. There's no super Easter egg on launch of Reckoning. Why? We had to wait so long for Reckoning between the release of Shattered Veil, and don't even get me started on how long we had to wait for Shattered Veil from the release of The Tomb. Why do they not have a super Easter egg on the launch of Reckoning? Because now the game is dead again. I mean, was it ever back? No, probably not. But it's dead again. If they even add a super Easter egg, and let's be honest, it's probably going to be purple rarity at the start. Maybe it'll be, oh wow, you get one of each Ultra Gobblegum. Bro, oh my gosh. If it's that, man, we need to have a generational crash out. We need to have a generational crash out. If it is nothing less than a boss fight and like a cool weapon camo that'll carry over to Black Ops 7. You know, if it's not a boss fight akin to Mephistopheles, and let's be honest, it's not going to be, because they don't have that creativity anymore. They're dead creatively. There'll never be anything cool like that added into the game. If it's anything less than that, we need to be upset, because that's the direction that they're going to continue to go in, is horrendous lack of creativity and not respecting our time and our dedication to this game mode. Next thing on this list, it's still too much like Warzone. It's still way too much like Warzone. Armor plates? Armor plates were way better in Cold War. You want to know why? Because you ran over the armor plates and they would just equip automatically. Now you have to put on armor plates. There's still equipment stands. Wow. Yeah, that feels like zombies, all right, buddy. Yeah. Did you guys... Hey, did anybody on the current team play zombies back in the day, aside from Kevin Drew? Did anybody else play zombies back in the day? Because that was not what zombies was like at all. And we need to go back to that. I definitely agree with those that are saying we need classic mode back. If this is the direction you want to go in with zombies, of course. Perfectly fine. If this is what your metrics say, people like, whatever, fine, whatever metrics. Give us the option to have classic mode back. Give us the option to not have weapon rarities, to not have 3 Gobblegum at one time, to not have equipment stands, mutant injections, an unlimited perk limit, armor. At least give us the option to not have it, instead of it being the only option. Why? Why does it have to be like Warzone? I get it, because, like I said, Warzone makes $1 kajillion. So if you can make zombies even a little bit akin to Warzone, you might bring those Warzone players over and they might spend hundreds of dollars on bundles. All right, buddy. Like, what? Oh, it's just exhausting, bro. Exhausting. Next thing on this list, pause timer. Why? Everything has to be online to appease your shareholders by showing every player that's playing constantly, right? Yeah, okay, buddy. Why does it have to be online only? Why? So that when you get disconnected, hey, guess what? Your game's gone, buddy. Half the time the save files don't even work and they get erased with each update, so good luck. Wow, I remember when I was playing Black Ops 2 back in the day and my internet would go down and I would be disconnected. That never happened. If my internet went down and I was playing Black Ops 2 local, guess what? The game keeps going. And guess what? I can pause it for as long as I want. Wow, huh? Isn't that innovation? Wow, isn't that innovation? And why? Next thing on this, why are we nerfing things in a PvE mode? Why? Like, do we have to nerf everything in a PvE mode? Like, do we have to nerf things? Zombies is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. If something is good, why are we nerfing it? If it's broken, again, why are we nerfing it? The Ice Staff should be good. The Wonder Weapons should be good. That's why they're called, Wonder Weapons, because they're supposed to have an impact on your gameplay, and they're supposed to eviscerate enemies. But no, half the Wonder Weapons in the game are terrible, and half of them were nerfed. Now, of course, I get fixing exploits. I'm not talking about exploits. I'm talking about damage. Damage numbers. Why are we lowering damage numbers on wonder weapons? That should not be the case. All right, next thing. Let's talk about the story. Okay, yeah, Cake. This is awesome. We're going to start off with an amazing story on Terminus. Who's Maya? How does she know Peck? They're breaking the crew out of prison to go and hunt down Richtofen and do all this stuff. And it just turns into garbage. Garbage! Liberty Falls, you have Blanchard and Panos, Tanos, that were, battling it out. Well, they weren't really battling it out, but we got this plot set up, for them. And it's going to come to this, we thought, this grand climax in Reckoning. Hey, we're going to find out, maybe what happened. Hey, we're going to find out who Panos is talking to. We're going to find out, hey, what's Blanchard doing? And no, we didn't find any of it out. We didn't find any of it out. The only deeper thing we got about Panos was that he had a vision of a pyramid and farmland and in a radio in the boss fight. You had to go out of your way to find it. He didn't tell you this directly, during the Easter egg step. Maybe he goes, hey, yeah, I had a vision of a farmland and a pyramid. No, you hear it in a radio, bro. A radio? And then nothing happens once Blanchard and Panos are sacrificed to upgrade the whatever the frick this horrible gun is, the Gorgafex or whatever. If you take out Panos to upgrade the gun, Blanchard doesn't say anything for the rest of the game, and vice versa. What are you talking about? This is supposed to be the climax, the ending to this story, especially with Panos and Blanchard, and they don't say anything once the other one is taken out again. They don't say anything. Blanchard doesn't talk about, yeah, let's go help take down Richtofen, or let's go up take down Samantha. Panos doesn't say anything about the great voice that's talking to him. He doesn't say anything after that. Why? Why? And half the time, it feels like, hey, go to this map to get this thing. Hey, go to this map to get this thing. And it turns into nothing. Hey, you remember the Sentinel artifact from Black Ops 4? Guess what? It's in this game. Hey, guess what? Croft is in this game from Vanguard. You guys remember those things? And they turn into nothing. Nothing. Don't even get me started on the frickin' tomb, man. How dare you? How dare you tarnish Origin's great name by having the tomb allude to it? How dare you? Origins was the greatest map in Call of Duty Zombies history. I will die on that hill. And you dare to tease that we're going to go to an Origin-esque site, as Croft said at the end of Citadel. It's at the dig site. It's at the dig site. I was so excited, bro, because at that time I had false hope. Because Citadel, was a pretty good map. In terms of Easter egg stuff and whatnot. And remember, that was the first DLC map we had gotten, and it was only a month and a half after the game launched. I had so much hope for the game, and then that came out, and I was like, we're going to Origins? I was so freaking excited, and then we got the garbage tomb, bro. Oh, why? And not only that, the Easter egg was garbage. You bring back just the ice staff and don't explain it. You just bring back the ice staff and you don't talk about why it's there. You don't mention why it's there. Where are the other staffs? Why is it just the ice staff? Why is that upgrade step so terrible? Oh my gosh, dude. Ah! And not to mention, it's just a lot of, hey, we're going to bring up this past thing, and then nothing's going to come of it in the story, what did we really even do? What did we really even do in the story? All we did was either kill Sam or kill Richtofen. The Sentinel artifact didn't do anything. The magical, like, compass thing Richtofen was holding in the Shattered Veil cutscene, and that didn't do anything. What was the point of this story? What were they trying to tell in this story? It was so promising at the start. Why does it suck? What were they trying to tell us? And then here we go. Wow. Yeah, let's go ahead. Now we have Black Ops 7 coming out, and we have Jedediah Brown, even though it's probably not Jedediah Brown. But now we have Jedediah Brown, and it's like, we're in the dark ether. Where is this story going to go now? I'm sure it's going to start off pretty good and then turn into dumpster fire by the end of it. I'm sorry to go on a rant there. I miss the days when the zombie story was so fun to talk about and so engaging. I remember back in Black Ops 2, heck, even Black Ops 1, where it was like, where are we going to go next? What are we going to do? What does this radio mean? What does this cipher mean? Oh my gosh, this Easter egg was awesome. You know, what is this talking about? No, we will never get anything like that because the creativity at Treyarch is just dead. We will never get Easter eggs and story as good as Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 1. Heck, and even the Chaos story in Black Ops 4. We will never get that ever again because the team is just creatively dead. I'm convinced. It's either AI that's writing half of these story elements, or the team is just like limping to the bar. Like, why? It shouldn't be this way. Zombies has always been the story-driven aspect of Call of Duty, and we fans are dedicated to this craft, and we are getting just terrible story. And this is even the last thing on my list. All right, let's move on to the next, number 5, an aneurysm. Next negative about this, I'm gonna say it, bro. No Onslaught maps, okay? Now, I know some of you may be like, yo, that came out of left field. I feel like Onslaught maps would have been perfect in this game. Instead of having to wait 3 or 4 months between the Tomb to... Wait, was it the Tomb to Shattered Veil? Yeah, the Tomb to Shattered Veil, and then have to wait longer between Shattered Veil and Reckoning. Why wouldn't you have Onslaught maps? Like, have us on the multiplayer maps to just have something else to do while we wait for the main story map, you know? Like, give us something else to do. If you're gonna just lazily, like, have this horrible release schedule in between the maps, give us Onslaught maps. Give us other survival maps. Instead of just adding these terrible LTMs. Oh my gosh. Instead of adding these terrible LTMs, we don't want LTMs. We don't want cranked. We don't want cream tanked. I was about to say, what the frick does that even mean? We don't want team cranked. We don't want grief. Now, were those game modes entertaining for a day? Yeah. But that does not serve to lengthen the lifespan and the enjoyment of this game. The LTMs are terrible in this game. We don't want LTMs. We want maps. We want maps. We want maps. And of course, if you guys disagree, let me know, because that's at least what I want. You know, that's what I want. I want more maps to play on. I want more things to do in zombies that's not just an LTM. You know? All right, last thing that I have on this list. Few intro cutscenes. Bro, what happened to the intro cutscenes, man? What are we... Oh my gosh. What are we talking about? You guys remember the chills you would get from intro cutscenes back in the day? Like, do you remember that? Do you remember that? Do you remember Origin's intro cutscene? Do you remember Mob of the Dead's intro cutscene? And of course, back in the older games, like in Black Ops 1, World at War, yeah, we didn't have intro cutscenes, but guess what? We didn't really need them. We had the loading screens. Those things were sick. Moon's loading screen is still probably the coolest loading screen to this day. You know, back in the day, Moon's loading screen was awesome. And guess what? It told more story, I feel like, than this entire game did. The Black Ops 1 loading screen panels told more of a story and a better story than this freaking game did. Like, what are we talking about? The story in this game was awful, and then you don't have intro cutscenes. You don't have intro cutscenes. All right, I'm gonna crash out. All right, let's rank the maps before I crash out. All right, here we go. Let's rank the maps on this game. Worst map in the game is the Tomb. Fight me. I don't care. The Tomb was garbage. The worst thing the Tomb did was try to allude to Origins. How dare you? Like, Origins is the greatest map of all time, and you're going to try to bait us into thinking this is going to be like an Origins follow-up. This is going to be like, oh, guys, look at this. This is going to be like Origins. And it just has the ice staff and some of the music from Origins in it. The Tomb is the worst map, by far. Easily the worst map. It's just two straight lines in the dark ether. There's no substance to it. You sit in the corner with the ice staff for high rounds. The Sentinel artifact is the worst fight in this game. There's boss spam, DPS checks. The Sentinel artifact used to one-shot you with the laser. I remember doing that boss fight on launch day. It would one-shot you with the laser. And that was stupid. Not only were you being one-shot by a laser that you had to jump over, but you had doppelgasts, you had amalgams, and do you remember the Sentinel amalgams and doppelgast, the orange ones that could also one-shot you if they hit you? That was great. Wow. That was awesome. Haha. So yeah, the Tomb was terrible. Tomb's the worst map in the game, easily. I feel like I don't have any more to say about it. Next map. You guys are gonna fight me on this one. Next map is Citadel. Citadel is the second worst map in the game. It's not fun looking. The map is horrible looking. It's brown. You got a brown map. Yeah, the castle's pretty cool and everything, but once you get into the castle, it's like you go run down the stairs and then there's like an undercroft. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, guys. Well, hey, what else is on the map? Oh, not much else? Cool. Yeah, okay. Yeah, great map. And the other thing about the map that's just horrible is the swords. Those things suck. I'd rather use the Gorg effects over the swords. The swords were terrible. Do you remember when the swords came out and you could only kill one zombie at a time with them? Whoa, oh, wow! Elemental wonder weapon swords! And you can kill one zombie at a time. One. And not to mention, yeah, the charge ability is pretty cool, but you had to kill like 25 zombies to charge it. This is a wonder weapon, by the way. This is a wonder weapon. And I remember when we were kind of hesitating to see if you could upgrade the swords, and the only thing that you could get was the little L2 things. I forgot what those are called. Enchantments. I'm going to call them enchantments because I forgot what they were called. The enchantments were way better than the actual sword itself. In what universe is that okay? Huh? In what universe is that a wonder weapon? And not to mention they don't have any skins because for some reason Treyarch just sucks at doing creative stuff nowadays and it's awful to see. And I guess we'll see how bad it gets in Black Ops 7. Yeah, the intro for Black Ops 7 is pretty good, but whatever. I'm ranking maps. Next map, Liberty Falls. Fight me. Liberty Falls is way more fun than the Tomb and Citadel. The jet gun was super fun to play with. The map was fun to grind camos on. I feel like the map was more visually appealing than both the Tomb and Citadel. I don't mind daytime maps. I thought it was fine. You know, yeah, the map had a simple layout, but I feel like going for a map, purposely designing a map to have a simple layout is different than what came out of the Tomb. I don't know if the Tomb was supposed to be that bad, but Liberty Falls was supposed to be the simpler map, and I'm fine with having simpler maps, but the Tomb was a DLC map. That is a DLC map. We're supposed to, you know, get progressively better maps with DLC. I don't know if you forgot about that, Treyarch. We're supposed to have progressively better DLC maps. You know, you can't go like, yeah, the Citadel was seemingly a step up from Liberty Falls in terms of design and in terms of content in there, but the Tomb was a major step down from that. So like, why we're supposed to be getting better maps? Wait, I'm talking about Liberty Falls. But no, Liberty Falls was way more fun, in my opinion, to play on than Citadel and the Tomb. That's just my opinion. I thought that Liberty wasn't as bad as those two maps. Next map, Reckoning. Reckoning is okay. It's very mid, as why it's, you know, mid on this list. But the Easter egg fight wasn't horrible. The Easter egg quest itself, in my opinion, was pretty bad. Like, you just run from one place, grab something, run to another place, grab something, run to another place, grab something, another place, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't make any narrative sense, in my opinion. I thought it was bad. Like, yeah, having the two sides to the Easter egg was pretty cool, I'll say, but the steps don't change in how you get there. You know, it wasn't like Black Ops 2 where, like, you got to a certain point in the Easter egg and it would branch off, you know, to where, hey, if you were helping Maxis, you had to do something completely different for the Easter egg than if you were helping Richtofen. You know, that did not happen. The only thing that happened is, hey, you get to choose whether you kill Panos or Blanchard, and then you get to choose whether you help Samantha or Richtofen, and the only thing that changes is the boss fight. That was dumb, but the map itself is fine. It's not horrible. You know, having the towers to, you know, fly in between isn't bad, I guess. It's a fine map. At least we got different enemy types, but Doppelgasts were still in this map for some reason. They just can't get away from Doppelgasts and Vermin. I don't know why. That doesn't add substance. It's just lazy and bland. Next map, Shattered Vale. Yep. Shattered Vale is the second best map on this game. It is. The map was fun to play on. Yeah, we see Doppelgas and Amalgams return, but I think the map is way more fun to play than the previous maps. I liked the boss fight. I thought the Z-Rex was super fun. I don't care if we knew the Z-Rex was going to be the boss fight. I thought the boss fight was fun. I thought the boss fight was super, super fun, especially when you can nuke it down in 2 seconds with drill charges, but we won't talk about that because that's not intended. But Shattered Vale had a lot more depth, in my opinion, to as opposed to these other maps, and actually told a somewhat decent story. You know, it actually, like, this was the climax. Like, yeah, we kind of figured, oh, Richtofen's bringing his family back by doing all this evil stuff. Yeah, we kind of knew that. We kind of figured that. Wow, Weaver kind of feels bad for what he did, you know, by killing his family. Like, yeah, we kind of figured that's what happened. Cool. But at least the story was better than the Tombs. You know, it was better than Citadels. It was better than Liberty Falls. So, you know, yeah, number 2. Number 1, I mean, process of deduction, right? Terminus. Terminus is easily the best map on this game. Easily. The story is actually engaging. The Easter egg is actually fun. Dare I say fun to do? And the boss fight is incredible in the game. I loved fighting Patient 13. I thought that is how you execute a boss fight perfectly. You know, maybe get rid of the transition phases, because I personally hate transition phases in boss fights, but at least it's better than having a DPS check in perfect immunity phases, right? But Terminus had the best atmosphere. It has the best Easter egg. It has the best map design in the game, and is leagues above any other map in this game. Terminus, in my opinion, might even be a top 10 map, you know? It might even be top 10. I'm not saying top 5, obviously, because that would be bait, but that might even be a top 10 map, in my opinion, of zombies of all time. But Terminus, easily the best map in this game, and if they could replicate anything close to Terminus-style maps in Black Ops 7, hopefully we'll be in for a treat, but I'm not going to have high expectations, because I know this game is probably going to suck once, you know, February comes. But everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, the second half of this raised my blood pressure and my heart rate, but it sucks that the game was so good on launch just for it to crap the bed and be horrible, you know, toward the end of its life cycle, due to lackluster maps, lackluster story, lackluster Easter egg, LTMs that are awful, drip-fed reused content, and lack of engaging content being added into the game. It sucks to see that this is what Zombies has turned into, and I am not hopeful for Black Ops 7. Yeah, I'll be playing Black Ops 7. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to be playing it on Game Pass Ultimate. I'm not wasting $70 on this game, and I recommend you guys do the same too, unless, of course, that's what you want to do with your money. Like I said, I'm not the IRS. You guys do what you want with your money. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate your guys' time. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I love to have discussions with you guys. I love to talk and engage, especially when it comes to zombies. So, everybody, hope you guys stay hydrated. Hope you guys stay healthy. And hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. Take care, everyone.